Happy Halloween, everyone! You know I love a good spooky spectacle, and I bet you do too. But have you ever stopped to think about the magic behind those creepy illusions we love so much? Today, we'll take a deep dive into the evolution of special effects and explore how they've shaped our Halloween celebrations. From the silver screen to those awesome DIY decorations we see everywhere these days.
It really is remarkable how special effects in movies and Halloween decorations have kind of evolved side by side, like they're feeding off of each other, always pushing the limits of what's possible.
Right, it's like a spooky feedback loop. We've got some amazing articles about breakthroughs in film, the latest in Halloween tech, and even the history of Halloween decorations. It's going to be a wild ride through time.
Oh, get ready for some serious aha moments. I guarantee you'll never look at a haunted house or a spooky costume the same way again.
Okay, let's rewind all the way back to the early days of film. We're talking about a time when special effects were more about artistry than high-tech gadgets. One technique that immediately comes to mind is rotoscoping.
You mean like an artist painstakingly drawing over every single frame of film to create a moving cartoon?
That's the one. It was used for iconic characters like Coco the Clown back in 1915.
Wow, 1915. Imagine the patience that must have taken.
Seriously, to draw over every single frame, it really makes you appreciate the dedication to the craft. It reminds me of the incredible effort people put into those DIY Halloween costumes we see today.
Totally. There's a shared spirit there for sure. That creativity and meticulous attention to detail.
For sure. And speaking of DIY ingenuity, how about the double exposure technique they used in the 1933 film The Invisible Man? Black velvet and some clever camera tricks. That's all it took to make the actor disappear.
That's incredible to think they achieved so much with such simple tools.
It really is.
It's like how much fun we have setting the mood with spooky lighting today. Imagine using that same principle to make someone vanish into thin air. It's all about playing with light and shadow to create an illusion.
Absolutely.
And that DIY spirit is still so strong in how we decorate for Halloween today.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a well-placed sheet, some eerie lighting. You don't always need fancy technology to create a spooky atmosphere, right?
You got it.
Now, let's talk about bringing skeletons to life. Remember Ray Harryhausen's iconic skeleton warriors from Jason and the Argonauts? That stop-motion animation was pure magic.
Oh man, those skeletons. Pure magic is right. Each tiny movement was so carefully crafted frame by frame. They brought those bony warriors to life. It was incredible.
It really was.
And it's the same principle behind a lot of those animated Halloween decorations you see popping up. Especially those jerky movements, they're like a nod back to that early stop motion style.
Oh, totally. That's so cool. It's amazing how those early techniques are still influencing how we celebrate Halloween today.
Absolutely. It speaks to that enduring power of creativity and illusion. But hold on, things are about to get a whole lot more colorful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're getting into the era of vibrant colors and dazzling light shows. Disney was really at the forefront of this with their sodium vapor process, like their own version of a yellow screen, which was a precursor to the green screens we use all the time now.
And they used it in Mary Poppins to make all those fantastical scenes come to life. It's wild to think that this technique, developed so long ago, is basically the granddaddy of all those incredible, colorful Halloween projections we see now.
It really is. And of course, speaking of green screens, chroma key. It's evolved from those early black mats to the incredibly seamless CGI they use in movies today, making people fly and all sorts of crazy things.
It's not just Hollywood anymore, though, is it? I mean, some of those DIY tutorials online use chroma key for amazing homemade ghost effects.
They do.
It's awesome how accessible something that was once a super exclusive technique has become. But even with today's technology, lighting, and depth of field, they're still crucial for pulling off a convincing chroma key effect, whether you're making a blockbuster movie or a DIY ghost in your living room.
It all comes down to the details, even with the most advanced technology. So we've talked about bringing things to life and the arrival of color in film, which was a total game changer. It's clearly had a big impact on how we use color and light in Halloween today. But what about movement? How do you make those creatures and ghosts look like they're actually moving realistically?
Well, for a long time, it was all about stop motion, but then came a technique called go motion, and it really shook things up in the special effects world.
Go motion. I've heard the name. Refresh my memory. How did that one work?
So basically, go motion is like stop motion, but with a cool twist. They figured out how to add motion blur, which made those animated creatures in films like Star Wars and Indiana Jones look so incredibly real.
Wait, like the Tauntaun in The Empire Strikes Back, the one Luke cuts open to stay warm?
Exactly. That's go motion. Remember how real that creature felt? And you can see that same drive for realism in how Halloween props move today. It's gone from those, kind of clunky, jerky movements to props that are much smoother and more lifelike.
It's like they're taking notes from Hollywood.
Yeah.
So how did things evolve from there? Is that when computers started taking over the special effects world?
Oh, you bet. The digital revolution came along and blew everything wide open. Films like Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park, they were groundbreaking in how they used 3D computer animation.
Those dinosaurs, I still remember seeing them for the first time, totally mind-blowing.
I know, right? And then there's Pixar. Toy Story was the first completely computer animated feature film, remember?
Oh yeah,
Like a whole new world of possibilities opened up.
for sure.
And you see that same digital leap in the world of animatronic Halloween figures. Some of them are so realistic you'd swear they were actually alive.
It really is incredible how far we've come from those early days of stop motion. But what about what's next? Are we going to see fully interactive holographic ghosts floating around soon?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? And it brings us to another groundbreaking technology, motion capture, or mocap for short.
Ah, yes. The tech behind bringing characters like Gollum and Davy Jones to life on screen. It's like magic, how they take an actor's movements and translate them onto those CGI characters.
I know, it's mind-blowing. And it makes you wonder, how will mocap shape the future of Halloween? Imagine haunted houses that are hyper-realistic, immersive experiences unlike anything we've ever seen before. The possibilities are endless.
Okay, let's shift gears for a second. Let's talk about something we're all pretty familiar with, the internet and mobile tech. I mean, think about apps like Find My Friends. They're a lifesaver for parents who want to keep track of their kids while they're out trick-or-treating.
Oh, for sure. Technology is changing how we experience these age-old Halloween traditions, making them safer and more interactive.
And social media. It's become a central hub for all things Halloween. Costume ideas, DIY decoration tutorials, reviews of haunted houses, you name it. It's like a one-stop shop for spooky inspiration.
So true. Social media has basically become this giant Halloween forum, connecting people and fueling so much creativity.
It really has.
And it's not just about the fancy apps and viral trends either. Even something as simple as those LED bracelets. They've made a huge difference in making trick-or-treating safer.
It's amazing how such a simple thing can make such a big difference, right?
It all comes back to that blend of tradition and innovation. And honestly, I think we're just scratching the surface when it comes to wearable tech for Halloween. Imagine costumes that have LEDs and sensors built in, maybe even augmented reality. I think the future of Halloween is going to be wild.
Okay, I think we need to take a little breather and let all this information sink in. We've covered a lot of ground here, but don't worry, the best is yet to come. We'll be right back with more spooky insights in part 2 of our deep dive into the evolution of Halloween special effects.
Welcome back to our deep dive into all things spooky and techie.
Before the break, we were on the edge of our seats talking about how technology is shaping Halloween. Apps that help keep kids safe while they're out trick-or-treating, wearable tech. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But it's not like technology is replacing the old traditions, right?
Nope, not at all. It's more about enhancing those traditions, adding these new layers of creativity and excitement to all the things we already love about Halloween.
Like haunted houses. I mean,
Mhm.
think about it. They've come a long way from those, dimly lit rooms with cobwebs and cardboard cutouts.
Oh, yeah, remember those?
Totally.
Those were the days.
But now haunted houses are like these elaborate, multi-sensory experiences. They really blur the lines between what's real and what's fantasy.
They do. Do you remember those old school haunted houses? The ones where, like, the scariest thing was some teenager jumping out from behind a curtain?
Oh, totally. Those were classic.
Those days are long gone, my friend. Now they've got animatronics, special effects, even actors using motion capture technology to create these super immersive experiences.
I know. It's like stepping into a horror movie.
Right. And I've heard about some haunted houses that even use virtual reality and augmented reality.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about those too. That sounds incredible and terrifying all at the same time.
I know. And you can find ones now with interactive elements that respond to, like, your movements and decisions. It's like you're part of the story.
That's so cool. Okay, so speaking of things that have evolved, let's talk about Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of those, basic store-bought masks and capes.
Oh, yeah.
People are getting so creative these days, And technology definitely plays a big role in that.
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing costumes that light up, costumes that incorporate sound effects, even costumes that use projection mapping to create these crazy illusions.
Right. And 3D printing is becoming more accessible so people can create custom designed costumes and props. I mean, talk about unique.
It's like the DIY revolution has gone high tech.
Totally. And speaking of DIY, we can't forget about all the incredible creativity we're seeing online. The internet is like a goldmine of inspiration and tutorials for people who want to make their own spooky decorations and costumes and even special effects.
It's amazing how social media and these online communities have fueled this culture of sharing and collaborating. People are always exchanging ideas and tips and tricks. It's like Halloween has become this giant open source project.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about saving money either, is it?
No, not at all.
It's more about the satisfaction of creating something unique,
Yeah.
something that really reflects your own style and how you like to celebrate Halloween.
Exactly. And it's way more sustainable, too. Reusing and repurposing materials means less waste, making Halloween a little bit greener.
It's a win-win for everyone. Okay, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something super important. Safety. Halloween is all about fun, but it's important to stay safe, especially for the little ones who are out trick-or-treating.
Oh, absolutely. And thankfully, technology has really stepped up to make Halloween a lot safer. Remember those apps we talked about earlier, like Find My Friends?
Yeah,
They give parents a lot of peace of mind by letting them track their kids' location.
that's great. And we can't forget about all the amazing wearable tech out there, with LEDs and reflective materials, making trick-or-treaters way more visible at night.
Right. Some of these wearable devices even have GPS trackers and emergency buttons built right in. Just that added layer of security can make a huge difference.
The technology is giving us the tools to make Halloween both safer and more fun.
I know, it's a perfect balance. We get to embrace all the cool new innovations, but we can also be mindful of everyone's safety.
Exactly. All right, so we've talked about the past, the present, but what about the future of Halloween? What kind of spooky tech can we expect to see in the years to come?
Ooh, that's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
I think we're going to see even more integration of virtual reality and augmented reality. Just imagine trick-or-treating in a neighborhood where every single house is transformed into a haunted mansion through your AR glasses.
Whoa. Or imagine Halloween costumes that react to the environment around you, like changing colors or projecting spooky images. The possibilities are seriously mind-blowing.
I know, right? And who knows, maybe we'll even see personalized haunted house experiences, like a haunted house that's tailored to your specific fears.
Okay, that's getting a little too creepy for me. But you know what else I'm curious about? The role of AI, artificial intelligence, in creating Halloween content. AI-generated spooky stories, AI-composed Halloween music, even AI-designed costumes and decorations. Could AI become like the ultimate Halloween creative partner?
That's a really interesting thought. I mean, AI is already being used to generate art and music and even write text. It's not hard to imagine it playing a big role in shaping the future of Halloween.
It's true. It's like AI could become this like ultimate ghost in the machine,
Hmm.
helping us create these even more spooky and spectacular Halloween experiences.
Right. It's mind-blowing to think about. It really feels like we're on the verge of a whole new era of Halloween innovation.
Okay, I think we need another quick pause here just to let all of this sink in. This conversation is getting spookily fascinating, I have to say. But we'll be right back to wrap up our deep dive into the evolution of Halloween special effects. And we're back for the grand finale of our Halloween special effects extravaganza.
Extravaganza, I like that.
Right. Before the break, we were really diving into the unknown, thinking about a future where AI designs haunted houses and our costumes react to the world around us.
I know, it's pretty mind-boggling to think about how technology could transform Halloween celebrations in the years to come.
It really is.
But, with all this excitement about the future, I think it's important to remember what truly makes Halloween so special. It's not all about the tech, is it?
You're absolutely right. At his heart, Halloween is all about imagination, wouldn't you say?
Mm,
It's a time to embrace the fantastical, the spooky, the unknown.
totally.
And special effects, whether it's something simple like a shadow puppet or something super high-tech like an animatronic, they help us bring those imaginings to life.
It's like they create a bridge between our imagination and the real world, giving shape to our fears and our fantasies.
It's true. Think about those classic Halloween monsters like vampires, werewolves, zombies.
Oh, yeah.
They tap into these primal fears that we all share. And special effects, They bring those monsters to life in a way that lets us actually face them.
Right. It's almost like a form of catharsis. By confronting these monsters, even if it's in a playful way, we feel like we have a little bit of control over them.
I like that, catharsis.
And as technology keeps advancing, we can expect even more sophisticated and immersive ways of experiencing those thrills and chills.
So no matter how high-tech Halloween gets, that core element of facing our fears, of embracing the darkness, that'll always be at the heart of it.
Absolutely. It's that primal urge to kind of confront the unknown, to revel in the magic of illusion. That's what makes Halloween so unique.
You're right.
And it's not just about these individual experiences either. Halloween has this amazing power to bring people together, don't you think?
Oh, you're so right. Whether it's gathering around a bonfire, telling spooky stories, trick-or-treating with the kids, going to a haunted house with friends, Halloween is all about sharing those experiences with others.
It is. And special effects play such a big role in creating those shared moments, right? Like that collective gasp when the lights go out in a haunted house, or
Yeah.
that moment when everyone in the movie theater screams at the same time.
I love that. It's those shared moments of awe and amazement that make Halloween so special.
Hmm.
So special effects, they're not just about creating illusions. They're about creating connection.
Exactly. Connections between our imaginations and the real world, and connections between ourselves and other people.
Beautifully said.
So, as we look ahead to the future of Halloween, with all this incredible technology and those mind-blowing possibilities, let's keep that in mind. Let's embrace innovation and creativity, but let's also remember the heart of Halloween, the power to connect, to inspire, and to remind us that sometimes the most amazing things are just beyond what we think of as reality.
I love that. Okay, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the evolution of Halloween special effects. It's been a spooky and enlightening journey, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
But before we go, we want to leave you with one final thought. As technology keeps blurring the lines between reality and fantasy, what role will you play in shaping the future of Halloween? Will you be a spectator or a creator? A master of illusion or a seeker of thrills? The choice is yours. Happy Halloween, everyone.